Thanks for clicking. First-time homebuyers need to protect themselves from getting sued in a real estate transaction. This according to just about every update on the London and Toronto real estate markets on this channel for the past few years. If your realtor advises against protecting your financial interests, they've shown you who they are, get a better realtor. Yeah, we've gone over the importance of finance conditions and protecting yourself from getting sued at great length on this channel, noting how the courts have consistently ruled in the favor of the home seller when a transaction fails to close. But what we haven't gone over on this channel, and something that's becoming increasingly important, especially for those who already own their own home, is protecting yourself from your own realtor. You know, the people you pay.
The service is free of charge.
No, they're not. It's included in the sales price. If a realtor tells you that nonsense, get a better realtor. But what I mean by protecting yourself against your own realtor is the need for the sale of a buyer's property condition. A condition on any offer that says if you are unable to sell your home, you're not obligated to complete the purchase of the new one. And we really should have talked about this condition earlier, as I've seen multiple accounts, multiple times firsthand, of realtors leveraging not just first-time homebuyers, but current homeowners to force a transaction.
You're all out of options.
So what I want to do today is go over the scam, discuss how to protect yourself from it, and then go over some implications. The end of the month is fast approaching, and with that we are eagerly awaiting the release of June's real estate data coming out from the local boards in a couple of weeks, and we'll obviously have an update out on that data on this channel. Make sure you click like and subscribe if you want to get those updates, but for now, let's protect ourselves from realtors. On to protecting yourself from your realtor. First off, I want to say right away before my inbox gets flooded that I'm obviously not talking about every single realtor. There are some very good ones out there, some that have their clients' best interests at heart, some that are professional, moral, eloquent, good at math, literate.
He's talking about me!
On to protecting yourself from your realtor. Here's the story. Let's take a home buyer, say his name is Tony, who's going to buy a home for $700,000, from which he plans to have about $140,000 as a down payment. Tony is going to get that $140K from the sale of his current property, of which his realtor has assured him is worth $600,000. Let's say Tony has a $350,000 mortgage and also has to pay his realtor 5% for the sale of his home. So just to summarize, Tony has a $350,000 mortgage. His realtor tells him his house is worth $600K after paying the 5% realtor fee. That leaves Tony with $220,000 in equity. More than enough to cover that $140,000 that he needs for the purchase of that new home. So with all of that information in mind, Tony waives conditions on the purchase of that new home. All that is left now is for him to sell that current house for $600,000. But that house doesn't sell right away, and lo and behold, the realtor tells Tony that his house is no longer worth that $600,000 it was worth a week ago. So he needs to get more realistic on pricing, as that house is now only worth $550,000.
I'm not sure what you expect me to do.
Further, that realtor warns Tony that if he doesn't sell his house in time, he won't have enough down payment to buy that new house, and he can and will get sued, which is 100% correct. As mentioned, as we've gone over so many times before on this channel, the courts consistently rule in the favor of a home seller when a buyer can't, for whatever reason, close on that property. So at this point, that realtor has an awful lot of leverage over Tony. Tony can either drop the price of his home by $50,000. Tony will be out $50K. That realtor will be out about $1,250 in commissions, but still getting a hefty commission nonetheless. 2.5% for himself off of a $550,000 sale price, assuming he splits 50% with the buyer's agent. Tony will still be able to close on the new house, the realtor made sure of that, but Tony's going to be about $50,000 light after close than he thought he was going to be initially. Meanwhile, the realtor's only about $1,500 light himself. Failing that, Tony can refuse to sell his house for that price and then fail to close on that new home. Given that we're in a declining market, chances are Tony will get sued when that $700K home ends up selling for $600K. Tony will get sued for that $100,000 and chances are he will lose.
I don't think it's what either of us wants.
So that realtor promised Tony that his home would sell for more than it was worth, changed his mind once that realtor had leverage, and now Tony is going to be out that $50K or is going to get sued. Here is a post on Reddit from when that exact same thing happened to a GTA condo buyer in 2020. I've been seeing this happen more and more firsthand, and we're likely to see even more of it as Canada's real estate values continue to fall downward.
That's not possible.
Well, for right now at least, we're seeing record inventory levels and Canada's economy is weakening. So, given those two things, let's just assume that values will continue to drop, at least for the foreseeable future. This scam, where realtors figure out how to scam their own clients, isn't really that big of a problem when the market is hot, as if the sales falls through, it's very unlikely that buyer's going to get sued, as there's another buyer right around the corner. As such, if you already own your own home, then I strongly suggest having a condition of selling that home in place with any offer to purchase. As once you remove all conditions on that offer to purchase, as we've seen, your realtor can and does have leverage over your transactions. As we saw in that example, it's $50,000 to you, it's only $1,500 and less commission to them. That's still a hefty commission that they're getting, even though you're now out $50,000. Hence the reports of angry realtors when sellers refuse to drop their prices.
I'm wasting my time.
Now, your realtor might tell you you're going to have a much tougher time getting your offer accepted with that unreasonable condition in place. Right away, get a better realtor. I've seen multiple offers get accepted this year, more than any other year, where buyers had condition of the sale of their home in place when putting in an offer. There is so much inventory on the market right now, the buyers have all of the power and should be acting as such.
You work for me.
So, while we've talked about at great length on this channel having finance conditions in place just so the lender has a chance to look over the property, make sure that you didn't overpay, in this case, what we talked about today is specifically for those that already own their own home. Make sure you get that other condition in place, that condition on the sale of your own home. Right now, when you go to put in that offer, you have all of that power. Once you start waiving conditions, once you don't have conditions in, as we saw, that power transfers to someone else. In this case, your realtor. With that said, as this market plays out, we'll obviously continue to track it and offer up any more tips as they appear. Make sure you click like and subscribe if you want to get those updates. But for now, thanks so much for watching.